Hello and welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of the internet. This is your host, the whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds. Today's date, July 30th, 2019. Black MINDZ News Channel is to report, articulate, transmit, communicate, relay, unveil, decode, spread the news, whether it's by news, video, website, or quotes from publications. As I articulate these information, I ask that the creator of the universe be here, heart, soul, mind, and spirit. Because why? The truth don't need no partner. As a descendant of the greatest people who created this land that you call the United States, we, the foundational blacks of America, descendant historical lineage, bloodline ties, we, the BADOS, Black American descendant of slaves. Some say Black African descendant of slaves. Others say American descendant of slaves, which is ADOS. We, the children, descendant and lineage of, give honor to our ancestors. And you know what my motto is? I'm never going to tell you what I heard. I'm only going to tell you what I know. Well, look like the story here. Look like it's some old playground stuff. You know, back in the days when we was in the playground, we used to get it in before school, in the middle during lunch and recess, and then even afterwards. You know what it is when you're young, out there rough and tumbling, at least the boys. And it's about, fitting in, being tough, not being a whiny one. Well, we're going to take you to this story that a lot of people are covering. And let me give you my 2 cents on it. And again, this is Black MINDZ News, most hated channel in the black corner of the internet. Stay tuned for this broadcast. Hey, how's y'all doing? Again, this is your host, Mr. Blows Your Minds. First and foremost, I want to say what's good to my subscribers, fam in the house. What's good, y'all? Another show for you today. Hope that you enjoy it. Passerbys, if you should happen to be passing by and went down the wrong way on the internet and stumbled over here to the most hated show in the corner, welcome to the most hated show in the corner. Go through the aisle, see something you might like. If you should happen to see something that might offend you in some kind of way, just remember that this motto is, the truth don't need no partner. Now, let's get into this story here, right? Like I said, as I was saying in the introduction there, talking about how that, we were in school. And as boys, rough and tumble was the name of the game. It's about seeing who got the skills and ability, the toughness. It's kind of like they say, wolf pack. Got to figure out who is the leader, right? And sometimes there's some, smaller ones and not so tough ones, right? And, in the days when we were coming up, razzing you, right? They say talking a little bit about you. Sometimes getting pummeled was things that got you tough. Yes, you got soft, you didn't like it, depending on what side of the coin you was on, but you grew from it and it gave you tough skin, right? And that's what it is part about the aspect of being in the United States, especially when you come around when it's ADOS is in the house. We have a different way of how we get down. It's about seeing who is built like a Tonka truck, as they used to say, right? So let me take you to this story here first, and then I'll come back after that because, again, I don't want to get too much away. Some of you probably already know, and some of you don't. Well, we're just going to have to do what we do, right? Again, go ahead and play this for you right quick and be right back.
Father says it was supposed to be a game, but now her 10-year-old son is facing playground assault charges.
He is charged with aggravated assault, accused of throwing a ball and aiming for another student's face.
7 Action News reporter Jen Shans heard from both sides tonight. She's live in Canton with a look at how this all started. Jen?
Well, Dave, Carolyn, those two boys were playing outside here at Erickson Elementary back in late April when this all happened. But it wasn't until 2 days ago that one of the child's mother, Kamishi Lindley, learned that her 10-year-old was charged with aggravated assault in juvenile court.
These kids are basically playing a game that we all have played.
But on April 29th, what seemed like a harmless game ended with one student getting seriously hurt. According to the boy's mother, who asked we not show her face, he has a rare medical condition, making head injuries especially dangerous. According to a police report, during that game, another student threw a ball at his face on purpose.
He sustained facial tissue damage to his face. He had a black eye and a bruised nose.
Records show the then fourth grader also suffered a concussion. His condition is something Kamishi Lindley says she and her son, Bryce, knew nothing about. Wednesday, Bryce was charged with aggravated assault.
I couldn't believe it.
This is on top of a one-day suspension, which occurred right after the incident.
This is a kid that was playing on the playground with his friends.
I tried not to let it get to this point.
This mother claiming her son had been hurt before and that she reported it to the school.
My son was hit twice in the face with a ball previously due to this, and the child apologized to my son, and he said, "Mom, it's okay. We're still going to be friends."
I'm unaware of any of those situations. Sorry that her child got hurt. I'd be sorry for any child that got hurt.
Lindley just wishes problems like this could be solved.
All right, so it seemed how they cut the video in that part, right? I understand why they would do that, right? Why would you cut the video from that part? But okay, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna give you the article on that too as well, because again, I tell you again, there's gotta be you're gonna have to figure out who the culprit is on this one here. You know how we do it over here in Black Minds News when we get into the investigative part, right? So it says a 10-year-old boy charged with assault after dodgeball injury. Our kids are racially targeted. Let me say that again. 10-year-old boy charged with assault after dodgeball injury. Our kids are racially targeted. The mom of a 10-year-old boy received the shock of her life recently, a phone call from her local juvenile court explaining that her son would be charged with aggravated assault months after a playground game of dodgeball at his elementary school. I couldn't believe it. Kamisha Lindsay, mother of soon-to-be fifth grader Bryce Lindsay, told 7 Action News about the call received from Wayne County Juvenile Court in Canton, Michigan on July 24th. Now, because the boy being punished is black and the boy who was injured is white, some critics are calling the incident racist, while others, including celebrity comedian D.L. Hughley, who called the charge ridiculous, are coming to the boy's general defense. Some 10-year-olds were playing dodgeball on the playground at school. A white kid got hit with the ball. Then they charged a 10-year-old black child with assault, tweeted film producer and self-dubbed #1 race baiter Tariq Nasheed. This is why we should not prioritize any of these border issues while our kids are racially targeted. The situation began back on April 29th when Bryce received a one-day suspension from Ruth Erickson Elementary in Canton for allegedly hitting a classmate in the face with a ball during a game of dodgeball. The child reportedly sustained a concussion, but because it was an accident, Lindsay didn't expect punitive measures against her son, Bryce, to go any further. But the injured child mother, who declined to release her name of her child to the public, says her son had a previous medical condition that made him susceptible to head injuries. Further, she alleges to 7 Action News that this particular injury was no accident, adding that he sustained facial tissue damage to his face. He had a black eye and a bruised nose. She says that her son had already experienced similar incidents while engaging in physical activities at school and that she tried not to let it get to this point. The case Wayne County Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Maria Miller tells Yahoo Lifestyle was evaluated by our juvenile prosecuting unit, and it was determined that there was enough evidence for us to charge aggravated assault. Critics, however, have called out the charge as overly harsh and racist. Some seem to imply that the incident appeared to fit into a larger pattern of what various studies have found to be disproportionate punishment between black and white children in America. In 2018, reported by the Watchdog Government Accountability Group, found that black students in grade K through 12 are far more likely to be disciplined at school, whether through suspension or referral to law enforcement, than kids of other races. Further noted, the New York Times in 2017, during the 2012 school year, black students in Arkansas were suspended 5 times as often as whites were, and little has changed since then. The racial discipline gap is not restricted to Arkansas or to the South. The same reports find that several northern states, including Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin, ranked above Arkansas in the black-white suspension gap. Another study from the Brookings Institution looking at California schools found evidence of the gap despite statewide efforts to reduce suspension. In the meantime, Lindsay has created a fundraiser to assist her son, Bryce, legal fees, and they are set to appear in juvenile court on August 1st. She says that neither she nor her son knew about the injured child's medical condition, nor did they know about the other school incidents, and feels the injured child shouldn't have been playing a risky game in the first place. Hughley's Instagram post in the defense of Bryce has attracted more than 21,000 likes since Sunday. Ridiculous. These are kids being kids, he said. They are charged as child. They charged a child. If the kid has a medical condition, why is he participating in something where he can get hurt? Hashtag this is America. Other social media users have echoed this sentiment. One noting, if your child has a medical condition and it is your parents, you fail to alert the school and the teacher about it, then it's your fault, not the kids who just playing a game of dodgeball. Shaking my head. Lindsay told a local news station, this is a kid who was playing on the playground with his friends. I'm sorry that a child got hurt. I'd be sorry for any child that got hurt. All right, so that was the news article that I just read to you about that, right? And then I gave you the video, right? So, again, what we see is this is taking place in Michigan at a school called Erickson Elementary, right? Erickson, right? And they're calling this a playground assault charges that turned into legal aggravated assault, right? Now, accordingly, everybody's saying they're playing dodgeball, right? And so what happened is about 2 days ago, prior to the story breaking, let me give you the visual of the mother there, right? Let me give you the mother. Her name is Kamisha, right? So let me give you Kamisha. All right, let me see if we do this better because there's something not right with that. Okay, let's shrink that down some. I may have to redo this, y'all. Hold on. Let me do this because somehow. Let me do this real quick. I have to get the mother because I got it too big. Her face is too big. So let me redo this right quick and bring her in back in here. You got it right here. Okay. Got it there. Good. All right. So get it squared away. And here we go. All right, so that is Kamishi Lindley, right? Lindsay, or Lindley, right? And she was notified about 2 days ago. She learned that the charges of her son through the juvenile court, right? And again, we're talking about kids at school playing, a game, right? And so let me show you with the young man, the 10-year-old, right? Let me show you how he's looking, right? And that's the young man there, right? And, let's see. Bryce is his name, right? What's his first name? That's a lot on there. Okay, Bryce Lindsay. Okay, that's Bryce right there, right? And so, again, you heard what people said in the articles. They're saying that, playing, dodgeball, right, is an American way, right? That's the American system. If you grew up, especially as ADOS, BADOS, growing up in elementary school, it's not something that we brought to the school. It is something as a part of the curriculum of what Jim brought. And a lot of us know that there was people who would be considered medically something wrong with them. Either they had asthma, either they had sickle cell. There was some people who just seen that they never got dressed for gym. But they had the doctor's note to get out of the situation, right? So most people who understand that knows that once you provide that doctor's note, then that individual is exempt from participating, right? Just like if they had swimming, if a female, it was that time of the month, she can get exempt, right? So in this case, you got a medically exempt, and I'm going to show you what had been said to show you that this was more about the mother pushing the issue than it was anything else. Now, again, what I just read on this article here said he had a previous condition. Wasn't something that he was continue to have or something he was diagnosed with that is life continuing. This is something he had previously had. Now, that's what this article in the Yahoo, which I'm going to put the link in there for those who may think that what I just said, I'm going to let you read from what I got the information from, right? And let me go back and see if I can find out what the mother said, according to what their mother has said, right? It says that the injured child's mother, who declined to release her name or her child to the public, says her son had a previous medical condition. Previous. Not that he still got it. He had one. Could have been once upon a time. It could have been years ago. But we're going to use this right now because it seems appropriate for whatever it is that I'm concocting in my mind, right? Right? Some people, come on. Yeah, what do you mean? Come on. No, that's what it says. Now, you go to who wrote this article here? Who wrote the article here is Camilla Newton, right? She's the one that wrote this. According to, she's quoting what she said. Now, again, she said he had previous medical conditions that made him susceptible to head injuries, right? She further alleges that particular injuries was no accident. Now, this is the point you got to look at. She's saying this wasn't no accident. Wait a minute. Okay. Adding that sustained facial tissue damage. Wait, tissue damage? What kind of ball was they playing with? A bowling ball? Was they playing? Don't get it twisted now. You have been hit. But again, that's a boom. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some mug, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I be clocking mugs too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, damage? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like you playing with a soccer ball, right? You ain't playing with a basketball, right? You're playing with a dodgeball. Now, dodgeball is somewhat even softer than, the two balls that I just previously said, right? And so, yeah, that's the first story in the morning, y'all. So you got to bear with me a little bit, but I had to get it out. So I'm saying that, you have to ask yourself, if you have all this, knowledge about the condition of your child prior to, as you hear everybody else mention, there's no way he should be out there playing, period. He, he need to be Poindexter, just sit down, coloring in the corner, sit down watching everybody else play. You can't pick and choose to play when it could be an inconvenience to, again, the way is the story being depicted, your life, right? You're putting yourself in harm's way. Now, again, does the school have record on file that he has medical induced, conditions that could cause him bodily injury if he should participate? Now, that's one. Does the school have that, right? Did the school have that, right? I ain't take the umbrella off there. Yeah, and you take all that. But again, we're gonna help you. Family gonna come. We gonna come to your rescue. So check this out, y'all. Let me go ahead and get into it, right? Because let me show y'all something. All right. So let's get into it. Because I wasn't gonna do that, but I did that anyway. So here is the report, right? Now this is what I'm going on. I see what everybody said in the article. I read the article just in case of those on. But I'm gonna go on what happened at the school, because this is where it all started at. Now, again, you understand, everybody got their way to do it. I'm just going to do it the way it got to be done. Tell you leave it alone. It's up to you. Now, let me show you something here. Now, accordingly, let me go ahead and get this on, do it out right now, right? Now, it says, accordingly, an officer named Nutilla was responded to the school, right? Now, it was in reference and an assault that occurred back in April 29th of 2019 about being on the playground during the afternoon recess, right? And accordingly, the person who has sent the police crying about this, right? The person is there right before your eyes. That's why I don't want name out and they don't want to be seen, right? And tells the police officer, because this police officer ended up meeting with the victim's mother, right? All right? Now remember, he's responded to. Responding where? The school? I met with the victim's mother. Where you meet the victim's mother at, right? At her house. Huh? Went at the school, right? Police came to the house. He responded to the call reference about an assault occurred, right? Right? Well, they blacked it out. You can't see it. And so she reiterate the story about what took place on the playground. And it said this makes injuries to the boy's name, his head extremely dangerous, right? There's a medical plan in place on file at the Erickson's school. Now, again, there you go. The school already had on file that this young man, the little boy that got busted in the head with the ball, already had a medical warrant on file that he is not to be participating in these types of events. That's number one, okay? Number two, it says the mother, is to be notified during any head injuries, even in the slightest, okay? Now, I don't know. Now, this again, that's not what the school record is showing. This is what the police report is saying. Any head trauma, injury in the slightest? Well, who's monitoring him like that? You understand? I mean, you in a classroom with one teacher. Do all the teachers know? So then let's put it this way. That means that every teacher in every classroom that he attends, every teacher must be very aware of him. If he should, be in a class, teacher boring as shit, and your ass nod off and boom, your head hit the damn. Oh, you better call his mama, call 911. This boy about to die, right? Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So, all right. So again, accordingly, now here it is. Medically on file. Every teacher supposed to know about his condition. Come on, follow with me. School got a file record saying about his medical condition and the seriousness of it, which means that every teacher that he's having encounter with that is going to be a part of as a student needs to know this information. It's that dire. He's a rare condition he could die from, right? Right? And so it says on 4/29, the young boy was playing a game called Tips. That was the name of the game they called it. They called it Tips. With a group of students on the playground. Now, okay, wait a minute. He don't know about his condition? Haven't you been telling him? This is 3. You ain't been telling him, Johnny, you know you can't be out there because, again, I know you don't want to wear the helmet. But you go out there, you could die. Mom, right? Right? So he going out there playing anyway. Now, again, is he breaking the protocol? He's going out there putting himself in a situation where other kids may not know about that. Now, is this something that they do every morning? When they do an attendance, they do a PA announcement. Every day, everybody gotta remember that you cannot hit Johnny in the head. See Johnny fall? Please call the office immediately, right? Do they do that every morning? So that means that every student in that whole entire school would know about this situation, right? But you know that's not. So they don't have no clue about his medical condition. But we're saying that teachers should and the administration office should know, right? So they out there playing the games of Tips, which means who is the one they out there playing? They playing on their own. According, she said it's recess. But the time is 3:12 p.m. I never known recess to be at 3:12 in the afternoon. This seems like this is after school business, right? This seems like this is after school business, according to what they saying, right? So a group of kids are playing. Essentially, they say the game is played in a circle, and everyone tosses one ball up in the air to each other while jumping in the air. The ball must also be caught while jumping off the ground. So her son tossed the ball to the fellow 4th grader Bryce Lindley. Now I'm saying it again. Her son tossed the ball to fellow 4th grader Bryce Lindley, and it went over his head. So that means that Johnny threw the ball where Bryce couldn't even jump up and get it. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was just an awkward throw, right? And so it went over his head, and all the players broke the circle. So when the circle gets broke, well, according means that the game is over. So based on what Johnny just did, Johnny destroyed the game, messed the game up. And, again, maybe because of his condition, he don't get to play off and he not good coordinated. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like the last pick when ain't nobody else to play. He might be that guy, right? Might be that guy. And so, Bryce was ready to play. You know what I'm saying? Bryce about that. You know what I'm saying? This in his blood. He ADOS and, a ball. That's all you got to give brothers, a ball in a space, and we can have all fun all day with no money in our pocket, right? So Bryce is ready to get it in, get his game in, and then here you come, Johnny, you messed the game up. Bryce was feeling some kind of way, right? He's feeling some kind of way after that. And so what happened was, again, the ball was tossed to him, broke the circle, and while the game was over, then all that went chasing others. So all of them went chasing after the loose ball. Lindsay grabbed the ball, according to what they say, and said maybe the young Johnny's name. He turned, and then they say he chucked the ball at him, right? He said, "Hey, Johnny!" Whop! You know what I'm saying? They got that Dodgeball, that movie. The motherfuckers out there getting slammed. But that's what he said. He called Johnny, and "Hey, Johnny!" Johnny turned, bop! Right? So Bryce said it, right? Now, Lindsay, according to Lindsay wasn't jumping, so they said, well, he wasn't doing according to the game. The game is when the ball is on, you toss up and you try to catch it into. He wasn't doing that. Right? So when he threw the ball directly instead of in the air. He struck on the side of the face of Johnny, right? And Johnny wasn't looking, and so it hit him in the face, right? So what it was, Bryce, again, 4th grader. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you learn if you the 2 left foot mug, you know what I'm saying? To get right, act right, it's somebody else who get you up, or you don't play no more. If you feel like you can't adapt to the game, you don't play with them because they trying to play for real and you in there still being 2 left feet. So Bryce was all, feeling some kind of way, and he slung the ball, bow, you know what I'm saying? You messed the whole game up, right? So this is what goes on to happen according to what she say, right? So it goes on and says that, now this is how it gets told, right? It says that afterwards, after the game was over, one of Johnny's friends told that another friend had said, this is what Lindsay said. Right? Kid shit. One kid told the other kid, now the kid that got hit with the face of the ball, one of the other one came trick, hey, Lindsay, Bryce, well, I don't know what he's saying, Lindsay, the shit said, Bryce said that's what he gets. Right? That's what Bryce said, but that's what he gets. Right? And so based on that, you understand? The mother is taking it, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe it was flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? Let me say it to you like this. Right? Let me just say it like this. Everybody who's sitting here listening to me right now, you listening to me, whether it be parent, whether you the child or you the grandparent, right? All of you know some of you was bums when it came to playing sports, right? Everybody in here was top echelon, was that guy, right? It wasn't that guy. No, it just wasn't, right? And sometimes you gotta accept that. That wasn't you, right? That wasn't you. Now in this case, Mr. Blow Mind, that ain't me. But I'm just saying, some of you sitting here knowing you was the Poindexter, right? You was that cat that was getting hit all the head and always getting out, couldn't catch a ball, save your damn life, falling and tripling, was clumsy as all hell. That might be you, right? And so, you know how that goes, right? That's just part of the game. Now, so what happens is his little buddy come over there and say, hey, Bryce said it's good for you. So the mom was like, all right. Okay, so now here comes the race part. Here's where the race has to enter. Because again, one, Johnny's mama should have been like, why are you out there playing anyway? You know you have this condition. So why are you out there? Right? Playing the ball. Is that game really that innocent? Okay, you saying that the ball is in a circle, throw the ball, when the ball is tipped to the other person, you have to jump up and catch it and tip it up in the air. Okay, so really it's not even dodgeball. There's some other shit, right? This ain't really dodgeball. There's some other kind of game. And the way that the game goes is more like if the ball gets out without continuous play, then it messes up the game. Now, once the ball gets out and the ball goes over and you messed up the whole game and they got to start all over again. So Bryce was upset about it and he did, okay. So again, this is kid shit. This shit should never take it to be legal, right? Yeah, he might do the ball. But see, what I heard in the story said he got a 1-day suspension. Now, if you already suspended him, why are you further pursuing it for him to get legally charged? Now, this is the $1 million question, right? He got a 1-day suspension. And then this is what the mother said. This is how you know it's the mother who did this. Johnny mama did this. Okay? Says today, blank called because she's concerned the school isn't having the assault serious enough. I'ma say that again. Today, whatever her name, called because her concern the school isn't taking this assault seriously. It's the mama who's pushing this issue. It's the mama who said she had flashbacks, as I was trying to say before, about some of you was flashbacks of you being the bum. You was Johnny when you was coming up. Your kids don't be knowing my mama and daddy them was suck when they came up. That's why I'm not good at sports and stuff, because they couldn't play with the shit. And so here you is, remember flashback when you was that Johnny and people throwing the ball and get out of here, you Sally, you can't play, and you right, all that shit, right? So here was your moment. And again, maybe you got some issues about black people, right? Matter of fact, I ain't gonna tell you what I heard, I'm gonna tell you what I know, right? And so she goes on and says that she also would like a written plan in place prior to any event between the boy and Bryce being on the playground. Huh? She now wants to have something in writing by the school that would make sure that these two would never be again playing with each other again on this one incident about something that happens all over this country in the United States. Was this something that should have been taken to get to a legal matter? Hell fucking no. You suspended the boy, right? He got a 1-day suspension, but that wasn't good. You saying they weren't taking it serious enough. 1-day suspension for tossing a ball? Now you use the medical condition to try to give more leverage to the severity of the situation, but according to the Yahoo article, it was a previous conditions. It wasn't a condition now. It was previous, some things he had before, right? See, that's why sometimes you're speaking of too many different places, you slip up and the truth gonna fall out. And so, you understand? So again, here it is. The DA said they looked at the situation and they said, yeah, you're right. Yes, this is what it is. It's assault. What? Get out of here with this kitty head. Huh? But no. I'm white. I'm right. He's black. And this is a lesson. They don't touch white people. Huh? You don't touch white people. Because that's what this is about. It's to put in the mind of him, Bryce, because that right there showed he didn't care about that. See, that which they have that subliminal, let's put that subliminal mind, remote mind that, when you get older, a lot of black people be having, you know what I'm saying, like the Jesus, the Jesus spirit, putting on mugs, see white Jesus, like I don't know if y'all seen this video where people was in Africa and they got a white man dressed up like Jesus and they out there dancing and twerking with Jesus. They happy because they said Jesus was with them. I mean, it is the saddest thing you want to see, right? So here it was, this spirit is supposed to be on him and they don't see this. She don't see this in Bryce at all. So she said, I'm going to put it in here. You know what I'm saying? He going to grow up and be terrorizing white folks. So let me damage him now. 10 years old, giving him a record of assault already. Huh? You're going to destroy him already. Now, suspension at school was sufficient enough, right? Now, again, but no, you want to make it. You said, well, there was previous ones that, what was the previous stories? What about the previous one? Well, they apologized. Wait a minute. So that means that you have a record of doing this, that you go back and you try to prosecute to the fullest. It may not even be, merited of the way you doing it, but you do it. Now, again, if Johnny needs that kind of protective kind of situation, he don't need to be in a public forum. He need to be more private, don't you think? It would be better if he was in a private. That way he won't have, but see, what you want to have is you want to have him able to be functioning around people, but everybody else has to be with kitten gloves around him. Everybody else is still trying to live their lives, again, not trying to make light or fun of it by somebody in their medical condition, but you can't hinder everybody else progression and their way that they develop. And if he wants to intervene in that, then that's got to charge it to the game. You can't just say, you know what I'm saying? And that is part of, and again, the way y'all come up may be different, but when you come up as ADOS and BADOS up in here, you learn rough and tumble. That's part of growing. And so because you don't have, I guess, I don't know what kind of area this is with the money and so forth, but you don't have it, so you're going to try to ward off people by your, persistent hounding the system and making them forced to do things to protect yours. That's just part of the ritual of growing up in the United States as boys. Now, if you don't want that, then you're going to have to either do private school, or homeschooling. But if you put them in a public, it's kind of like when somebody go to jail, right? You general population, or you get yourself quarantined, put your ass in the hole, or something like that. So you ain't around motherfuckers so they can't get you. But as long as you get a general public, right, your ass is fair game. And so if all this that they saying was that he should have never been in there. And again, the fault lines go in so many other different places. But let me tell you something else who it was. It was Mrs. O'Hara. Mrs. O'Hara, the teacher who went to the car and said, Bryce went up there and he hit him in the face, okay? See? O'Hara. How is it that Miss O'Hara knew to go tell the mama about what happened with Bryce, but she didn't know to tell Johnny, you shouldn't be playing this, it's possible you might get hurt. Right? No matter what kind of game it is. Right? How hard could he throw the ball? Right? Or they said they got pictures, but we ain't seen no pictures. Right? His nose is bruised. He got a blackening under his eye. Well, it be white and he's softer than butter. I'm pretty sure he bruised easily. You understand? Sneeze too hard, he might bruise. You understand? Again, this ain't making fun of the situation. I'm just saying. If he's soft like that, he don't need to have no kind of physical contact with nothing. With nothing. So again, a lot of us is not liking what we've seen here. And again, the documents is right there, so you can go in there and see it for yourself, because that's what I did. I read it, and that's what it said. Now, I gave you the articles. Again, I'll post it on the link in there. You tell me what you think and how you observe it. Again, this is Black Minds News. I want to bring this forth to everybody. Until the next show, peace, love, hair grease, and all that other stuff. Until the next time, in between times, you know what it is, stay vigilant, stay focused. Notice that every time there's always things going on, get a universal nod to each other, show that love, because we are family. Till next show, y'all, peace, love, and all that good stuff.